Hello everyone, in this video I will show you some cool techniques which are used in motion graphics most of the time. So you will be able to create your own motion graphics, yes. You can create better animation than this, just play around with these techniques. So let's get started. Firstly, create a new composition. I will call it line. I will go with 5 seconds duration and full HD resolution. Now click this button and enable title action safe. By the way, you can zoom in and out preview section by scroll wheel of mouse. And if you hold space button of mouse and with left click you can drag preview. Select pen tool, make sure to turn off the fill. And stroke to a color. I am going with white color. You can choose your own color, and of course you can change color anytime. Now, go to center of composition and left click to create first point of line. Make sure your point is exact in center. This is important. Go above and create another point, holding shift key. If you hold shift key, it will make line vertical. I will select selection tool again. This is an important step. We have to align anchor point in exact center of composition. For that, select pen behind tool, align it to center. Select your selection tool again, click on this drop-down button, contents, shape 1. Transform shape 1. Change anchor point value according to your preferences. In my case, line is looking little longer to me, so I will select pen tool again, and holding shift I will make it shorter. I will also reduce thickness of line by reducing stroke width. Click on this drop-down button again, click on add and select trim path. Go to trim paths. Change end value to 0. And create a keyframe. Go to 1 second duration and change the value back to 100. Come to 10th frame and create a keyframe on start value. Go to 1 second and 10th frame and change the value to 100. Now we have this animation which is not looking good for now. So select all keyframes and click on F9 key to easy open graph editor. If your graph don't look like mine, right click and choose edit speed graph. Now change graph like this. Take a look how our animation looks now. It's looking better than before. I will change start keyframe delay to 3 frames. For that I will select them and drag them. Press U to hide all keyframes, select the layer and press Ctrl+D to duplicate it. Press R to open rotation property, change it to 30 degree. Let me tell you, you can play here with simple maths calculations. So play with it. Keep duplicating lines as many time you want. I am fast forwarding rest of duplicating and rotation process. Now we have something like that. Displace all layers by 2 frames to create variation. Now your animation should look like this. Select all layers, right-click and choose Pre-compose. Duplicate that pre-comp, right-click, transform. Flip horizontal. Now your animation should look like this. Once again, right-click, transform and flip vertical. Let's have a look how our animation looks now. Let's move to our second technique. For that, select ellipse tool. Hold shift and create a circle. If you don't press and hold shift, it will create an ellipse. Now, align anchor point to center of circle. You can enable snapping for snap it to center. Now you know how to center anchor point, so I will use move anchor point script for moving anchor point to center. Align your circle to center. If your Align tab is not visible, you can enable it from Windows, Align. Now click on this drop-down button, go to Contents, Ellipse 1, Ellipse Path 1, change size value to 100. Create keyframe to size. Now go to Stroke 1. Create a keyframe on stroke width. Select the layer and press U to open all properties with keyframes. Go to 1 second duration and drag both keyframes. Change stroke width to 0. Come to beginning of timeline. Change the size value to 0 and stroke width to 20. Now let's see how our animation looks. Select all keyframes and ease them. Select keyframes of size and adjust the graph something like that. Let's see how our animation looks now. Our second technique is also complete. Let's move to our third technique. I will create new composition for that as well. Create a circle once again and move its anchor point to center. Align circle to center. Change the size of circle to 100. Click on Add and add trim paths and animate circle as you like. I already explained all the process of animating trim paths. Try adjusting keyframe duration and choose your own animation which you like most. If still you want animation like me, follow these steps. In the beginning of timeline, create a keyframe on end value and make it 0. Go to 1 second and change the value to 100. Come back to beginning of timeline, create a keyframe on start value and make it 0. Go to 1 second and change the value to 100. Select all keyframes and ease all keyframes, change graph to something like that again. Offset start keyframes to 5 seconds. Our third technique is complete. Let's move to our last technique. I will create composition for this technique as well. I am creating composition for each technique to keep interface, but I will recommend you to create every animation in single composition. This time I am going to create text. For that I am using Sego UI bold font. You can choose any font you want. I will go with white color of text. You can change it to any color. You can change color later as well. Select text tool and type +sign. In my case text size looks small to me, so I will change it to 150. Of course you can keep it any size. Align layers anchor point to center and align text to center of composition. Press S. Shift+P. Shift+R to open scale, position and rotation properties. In the beginning of timeline, create keyframes on position and rotation properties. Go to 1 second time and add keyframe on scale value. Go to 1 second and 10 frames and change the number of rotations to 1. Change the position value as well. Change the scale value to 0. Let's see how our animation looks now. Select position keyframes and ease them. Change graph something like this. You can duplicate it as many times you want. Just duplicate layer by pressing Ctrl+D. Change the position value of duplicated layer. Our last technique is also completed. I will recommend you to play with properties, try applying these values on different type of shape layers, and you can create better animations than me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to channel. I will see you in my next video.